Good afternoon, people. 4 p.m. Let's start our class. So today we will continue simple interest with its applications. And before we start, I would like to remind you two formulas what will be used today. First formula is for future value. That's supposed to be plus. Okay, another formula is for present value. Okay. So those two formulas we will use today, and little more details will be added to those formulas, actually conditions. So let's read what I prepared here. What are dated values? If an amount of money is subject to rate of interest, it will grow over time. This we know, right? Does the value of the amount of money changes with time? Well, obviously. This change is known as the time value of money. Okay, the closest, probably easiest explanation, that's negative interest rate, which is inflation. Like if you compare prices, let's say 10 years ago and today, you will see that today prices are higher. That is cause of inflation. So example, if you invest 1,000 today at 4% PM, simple interest, your investment has value 1,000 today, $1,010 in 3 months, $1,020 in 6 months, and $1,040 in 1 year. The value of the original amount at any particular time, it's a dated value or equivalent value of that amount. So, other words, these four are equivalent values. Consider that we charge 4% of interest, right? Dated values, because they are in different time location. They are in different time location. First one today, another one in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year. So far, guys, is that clear what I'm telling you?
Yes, a little, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, let's continue. So the dated value combines the original sum of the with the interest earned up to date value date. Each date value as a different time is equivalent to original amount of money. Means that, for example, this one is equivalent to 1,000, right? 1020 will be equivalent to 1,000. And more than that, they are equivalent one to each other, right? Just what's make them different, it's a different date location, different location in time. Okay, choosing appropriate formula. Let's see. Let's display last example. Now, $1,000, 1 year, right? If I want to prove that 1040 is equivalent to $1,000, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to take the $1,000 and move it back to the future, actually move it forward to the future using future value formula. So S is 1,000, 1 plus 0.04 times 1, and it is 1040, right? So let's see what happened if, let's say, I decided to prove in reverse. I want to prove that 1040 is equivalent to $1,000 today, right? So in this case, I have to solve a reverse problem. I have to put 1040 back in time till the point of now, and for that I shall use present value formula. Oh, actually 004, right? 2 zeros, -1, and it is $1,000. Any questions, people? Does everyone understand what I just said?
That makes sense, but is there, like, could you explain exactly how that the -1 exponent, like, how does it kind of work? You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
What do you mean how it works? You just take calculator and calculate.
Yes, but like, why?
What happens here actually? $40, that's amount of interest. Agree?
Yes.
So what you do, you strip that interest from that amount, and you receive base or principal.
Okay.
So basically, future value formula adds interest to principal, and present value formula strips that interest from future value. So it's a reverse process.
Okay, makes
And,
sense.
and now if you consider that on those two diagrams, time flies from left to right, is it?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Could you say that again?
On those diagrams, time flies from left to right.
Yes, indeed.
From left to right, so we can make a little conclusion, and conclusion is that if I move money together with time, I will use future value formula. If I move money opposite direction to time, I will use present value formula. Does it make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So let's now practice and see how it actually works. So a debt can be paid off by payments of 872 1 year from now and 1180 2 years from now. Determine the single payment now that would fully repay the debt. Allow a simple interest at 9% PA. So let's make a diagram. It's now. So we're supposed to pay 872 in 1 year, 1180, oops, vice versa. In 2 years, 1180, right? For any unknown reason, we decided to pay this today. So guys, if I do just this, let's say I take 872 plus 1180. What is it? 2000 something. Let me check. 872 plus 1180, $2,052. So if I say, okay, guys, why you should wait year, 2 years? What if you pay me now $2,052? Is anybody willing to pay this amount now? Imagine if it is you who has this who have this two outstanding balances in the future, and I ask you to pay those two today as a lump sum of $2,052. Who will pay? Anybody? Not me. Why?
Because I could,
Why
I
not?
could, I could do it in twos, right? I could do it in 1 year, and then the second year I pay the rest.
So, well, it's not an explanation. It's not a reason. If you, okay, let's say you have that money. It's not a problem. It's not a problem for you to pay $2,052. You just have it. But will you pay it? Yes or no, guys? Think. Okay, what if I say that if we, in the point of today, now, $872 has interest accrued included in that amount,
Oh, yes. Okay. No, I wouldn't because there's interest
right?
in those
Understand?
two. Yes.
Same 1180 has what 9% of interest in it per year. Make sense, guys?
Yes. So the now would be actually less than 2052.
Yes, now will be less. So what has to be done? We have to calculate those two amounts in today's dollars. Other words, we need to take these two amounts and bring it back in time to the point of now. Make sense?
Yes. So could we just take out the interests in those two and then add them?
Why? Why would you do that? The question says how much you should pay now. It's like, are you in the room right now? Right? You're
Yes.
sitting behind the desk. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you have chair to the side, left or right, either side? Do you have another chair?
If I have another chair next to me, no.
No. Do you have another chair in the room?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yes. So if I ask you to sit on that chair, but instead of just standing up and walking directly to the chair, you walk out of the room, go to your bathroom or kitchen or any other room, come back and sit to another chair. Does it make any sense?
No. Okay. Okay. Doesn't.
Right? So why you have to calculate interest separately and then manipulate with those numbers if you have direct question, what is single payment?
Okay.
You
Makes
know what I
sense.
mean?
Yes.
So now let's recall what we just did here and what conclusions we made. So what's happening? We taking two amounts back in time. My time flies from left to right, right? So, and I'm moving money opposite direction to time. So what formula would I use? What formula shall I use if I...
The P one?
P, yes, yes. So what present value does? Present value strips interest from amount of money. So X actually would be 872, 1 plus 009 times 1, negative 1, that's present value, plus 1180, 1 plus 009 times 2, negative 1. So let's calculate that.
Well, that's kind of what I said, but just in one formula, right? Because you add them together in the end.
Well, no, I adding them together after
Oh,
I
right.
stripped.
Yeah. Okay.
So first I took away interest and then I added them together.
And why did you make it X? Why is it X?
Well, it's just unknown payment. Look, determine single payment now. So we
Okay.
don't know that payment, just the variable. You can put Y, you can put T, you can put, I don't know, alpha,
Can't we put P?
omicron. No, T we use for time.
No, P.
So usually P, well, You can use it, but typically we use X or Y, something like that, or Z for this kind of equations. In reality, it doesn't matter.
Okay, and P for
So
your in the last slide was what is it called? In the last slide you
P,
had
that's the
P,
present value.
present
P
value.
we
Okay.
use for present value.
Is that the same thing as what we're trying to find right now?
Well, we're finding like combined present value.
Okay,
We're not
okay, okay, I
finding.
understand.
Okay.
Okay.
So now you said add them together. We added for 2052. Let's just for experiment do that. Now tell me please, what should I put for time? Where 2052 located? You don't know, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, so it's not possible to do it. You have to first bring it back and then you add them together. Why? Because at that point of now, actually that point is called focal date. Oops, I used some wrong tool. That point is called focal date, right? So in this focal date, both amount, they have same level of interest, right? So,
Okay, yes.
and we add them together and know and calculate this way the payment. So any questions you might have? So let's move forward. Two amounts owing from the past were to be paid today. One debt was 620 from 1 year ago and another was 925 from 6 months ago. Determine the single payment today. Okay, 800 and 1000, they didn't come from equation. They came from calculating present formula using 872 as future value and 1180 as future value. Because from the point of now, these two amounts considered to be future values. Some values in the future. Make sense? Okay, you're welcome. So we have two amounts from the past, and we need to know how much they worth today. So 1 year, 620. And guys, I highly recommend to make those diagrams. 6 months, 925. And now we actually need to find how much is now. So X. Time flies from left to right. So question, something like I did last time. If you lender, if you lending this money, would you accept 1545?
No, because there's no interest on it.
Yes, exactly. Of course not. No, because 1545 has no interest and 620 was sitting clicking interest for 1 year, 925 was making interest for half a year, right? So why would we, unless we just want to make a gift, right? So we wouldn't
Right.
do that. What we're supposed to do? We're supposed to take 620 to that focal date, right? And calculate 620 and plus its interest, basically future value. And same thing we shall do for 925. So we move money what? Together this time, right? From left to right. Therefore, X would be 620, 1 plus 012 times 1 plus 925, 1 plus 012 times 6 over 12.
So, sir,
Both are future.
sorry.
What do you say?
This is basically like applying the S and P formulas. but and then adding
S&P,
it
yes.
together.
So yeah, we calculate future value for them separately and add
Right.
them up, because what's happening, single payment, right? Single payment. So those two has to be combined. They have to be combined into one single payment. And
Okay.
what is combination? That's addition, right? It's like you went shopping. You went to the Walmart, you spent, let's say, $50. Then you went, let's say, to Loblo, you spent another $20. So how much you spent? $70, right?
Yes.
So same here. A year ago, it was 620. 6 months, it was 925. But today, you have to pay everything. What is everything? 620 plus interest and 925 plus interest.
Okay,
That's what
makes
it
sense.
is. So let's calculate 694. Actually, you guys check on my calculations, because sometimes they are funny. So I have plus 980, 50. 694.40 plus 980.50 will be $1,674.90. So that's how much supposed to be paid today if we want to repay this debt in full. If you want to repay this debt in full. Yes, 90. That's 9. You take calculator and check on me. That's why I say, don't just copy and paste. Actually calculate. By the way, today I got email, but our class is online anyway, right? So everybody will stay online till the end of the semester.
The end of this the whole semester until April?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right.
So, but our class is online anyways. Yeah, really, really. Except labs, if you need to go to the lab, you will have in class. But for our course for math, it's gonna be online. Okay, guys. So, well, maybe you didn't get it yet, but I received email this morning that it was decided.
Yeah, but that's actually not a new update. No, they already said that labs and other classes are like continuously providing in the campus as well. They are not
Maybe.
saying that all the courses will be moving back to campus. So actually, I think that's not a new update, Prof.
Well, I'm telling you what I just received. It has no impact on our class anyways. So
Yeah.
what we did, we moved money back in time using present value formulas, right? And we moved money to the future using future value formulas. Right? Let's see more scenarios here. So uh, yes, that's whole semester. Yeah, that's right. You owe payment of 400 due today, 500 due in 5 months, and 618 due in 1 year. You have been approached to accept single payment 9 months from now, with interest allowed at 12% PA. How much will the single payment be? Single payment. Okay, guys. So let's see. Diagram. Now, 400, 5 months. 500, 1 year. 618. So instead of that, they say, what if we pay you in 9 months? just lump sum. Question is how much? The question is how much? So we understand that 400 till it hits 9 months, it will produce some interest, right? Same happening with 500. From the point of 5 months to the point of 9 months, it will be some interest. What about 618? We kind of overshoot 9 months, so it has too much of interest in it. Is that part clear?
What do you mean by it has too much interest in it?
Well, because you pay faster than supposed to pay 618. So from 9 months to 1 year, what, 3 months, right? And interest is clicking.
Okay.
So for some reason, you didn't want to pay 2052, right? Why? Because it has interest inside. Same here. You pay in 9 months, but you're supposed to be paying in 1 year. So why, if you pay 618 not in 1 year but in 9 months, you will pay extra.
Right. So if you pay in 9 months, you get 3 months less of interest, pretty much.
Yes.
Okay.
So 9 months is a focal date. So focal date actually date when all the amounts what are involved in that game have same level of interest. Okay, that's what focal date does. It brings everything to the same level of interest. So which way we're supposed to move 400 in order to get to the focal date, guys? To the left or to the right?
To the right.
To the right, yes. 500, left or right?
Right.
Right. 618, left or right? Left. So time goes from left to right. Right now, I say, okay, X, the single payment would be combination of these three. So 400, I'm moving together with time, so I use future value formula. Now, how much time should I use in order to get 400 into focal date?
5/12.
Why 5?
5 months.
No, why 5 months?
Oh,
What is
9.
focal date? 9 months,
9,
right? So
okay.
focal date is 9 months, so 9/12. So 400 done. It's already there. Second portion, 500. Again, direction together with time. So it is future value formula. How long?
4. Because 5 to
4.
10.
Yes, 4. Exactly. Very good. 4 months. So finally $618. 1 plus 0, 12. Now, how long?
3.
How? 3. Yes, very good. 3.
And this
So
one will have
3.
-1 exponent. Right?
Yes, and now -1. That's actually one of the reasons why I prefer exponential format, reverse to fraction, because I can decide what is present or future value basically at the end, right? So, well, it's just a little, I don't know. Now let's calculate it. X is
Sir?
yes.
So pretty much this equation is S plus S plus P.
Yeah, S1 plus S1 plus P1. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Yeah. So future, future, present. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So 520. $600. So X is $1,556. That is X. Okay. Please confirm my number. Okay, can we continue, people?
Just 1 second, please.
Okay, let me know.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next one. Scheduled payment of 400 due now and 700 due in 5 months are to be settled by a payment of 500 in 3 months and final payment in 8 months. Determine the amount of the final payment at 6% PA using 8 months from now as the focal date. Okay, so we will talk about focal date a little bit more. We will talk about agreements. So let's put values first. So now 400, 5 months, 700. For some reason, when now arrives, when now came, whoever has to pay said, you know what, I don't have money to pay. Can I pay later? So if it was 400 was not paid, right? So we cannot expect 700, right? So, and we say, okay, what and how much and when? He goes, what if in 3 months I pay you 500 bucks? Okay, and final payment will be in 8 months. The question is how much, right? Because interest is involved. You don't want to receive less than you're supposed to receive, right, guys? You as a
Yes.
lender, you don't want to receive less, but borrower doesn't want to pay more than it's necessary. So this value has to be calculated. Then that's why we need to use a focal date, and they say is 8 months, right? What focal date does, what did I say? It brings all the values to the same level of interest, to the same level of interest. Now, here are 2 rules to choose a focal date, because some questions, they actually don't say what is the focal date. You have to select it on your own. So technically, any day is good for focal date, any day. Just results, they might be different. So that's why it was developed kind of rules, guidelines to select a focal date. First one, if we have one single unknown payment, the focal date we choose is the date of this unknown payment. That's rule number 1. Second rule, if we have more than one unknown payment, the focal date we choose is in a point of now. So
Can
one
you explain
unknown.
that again?
So one unknown payment, that's the focal date. If you have more than one, let's say 2 or 3, the focal date will be now.
Okay, and you said the focal date is bringing
all this amounts to the same level of interest. So we can manipulate, we can add. So if I include interest into add interest to 400 and interest to 700, right? So, and respectively interest to 500 and x, I use as is, I can make those two agreements equal and calculate final payment.
Okay, all right.
Right. So imagine, let's imagine that situation, that question. So it was agreed prior that one party will pay to another party two amounts of money, two amounts, 400 and 700. Right? For any
Right.
reason, it's never happened. So those payments, they were renegotiated. So new agreement says that 500 will be paid in 3 months and final payment in 8 months. But because lender is not willing to accept less and borrower is not willing to pay more, this amount has to be calculated properly. Make sense?
Okay, so basically we have to figure out how 400 and 700 can become the same payment
Yes.
as 500 and
And
X
X.
on month
Yes.
8. Okay, okay.
Yes.
And that
So
you find that
for that
by fixed
purpose,
date.
we use focal date. So I offer
Okay.
you to calculate agreement by agreement. So agreement one or original agreement has two amounts, 400 and 700. Does everyone see that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, everybody understand that, right? Okay. So we need both those amounts in focal date, right? So 400 to the right or to the left?
To the right.
To the right. 700. Right to left?
To the right.
To the right. So both of them, we will use future value formulas. 400, 1 plus 006. Now, how much time?
8 months.
8 months, yes. Just don't forget to transfer that to years. So 400 done. 700. Again, future value plus 006. How long?
3 months.
3 months, yes. And again, future value formula. So let's calculate agreement 1. For 16 plus 7, 10, 50. So together, I have $1,126.50. Yeah, okay. Of course. So how we calculate number of months? Look at that. Let's start from 400. You are here. You're supposed to get to this point. What's the length of that interval? How long? Balpreet. 8 months. Make sense? Now, you are at the point of 700. You need to get to the focal date. How long you going to travel? What's the distance between 5 months and 8 months? Okay, very good. Very good. Any other questions, guys? So, did you get the same answer? People,
I didn't have time to. I don't really have a calculator. I still have to buy one, sure.
yes, you need to have a calculator because I prefer that you calculate with me. Probably you noticed I prepare my presentation, just the question, and then we work together. So you have enough time to calculate with me. So please be ready for next class. So agreement 2. Agreement 2 has 2 payments as well. 500 payment. We have to move to the right. Yes?
Yes.
So 500, 1 plus 0, 0, 6. And how long? How many months?
5 months.
5 months. 5 over 12. And what about x? We moving x somewhere, yes or no?
No.
No. So because x is in a focal date already, we use it as is.
So
Okay,
just
let's
X?
Just x, yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So 5, 12, 50 plus x. Now we came to the point when both agreements are calculated in the focal date. We have answer for both. Because our goal is not to lose money, right? So what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to make them equal. So agreement 1 equals to agreement 2, and 11, 26, 50 equals to 5, 12, 50 plus x. From here, x, using black magic I call algebra, we calculate $614. For some reason I don't like something. Let me double check. No, everything's fine. So please confirm my numbers. Okay, are we good to go?
2 seconds, please.
Sure.
So, sir, if we did know the time, what would be X?
What time?
If we knew the time for X?
I didn't get the question. Can you repeat?
So you said how we can't calculate the months for X, right? So we just left it as X.
Well, not that we cannot calculate, but it's already there. It's already at the moment where we need it.
Okay, so if it was like the one in the previous question where
9 months, you see, we
Right.
used x as well. We didn't
Okay.
move it. We didn't apply any formulas.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, so that's why actually this first rule exists, that it's useful to have focal date in the moment of a known payment if it is single payment, so we don't have to touch it. Okay,
Okay.
next one. One more before we go on break. Jeremy had 2 equal outstanding loans one from 63 days ago and one from 105 days ago. He repaid both loans today with the single amount of 3,700. If interest is 9% on the loans, what was the size of the equal amounts borrowed? So 105 days, 63 days, and now I paid 3770. 3,700 actually. So here we have two unknown payments, right? Two unknown loans actually. So what is the focal date? What the rule 2 says? If you have more than one unknown, you're supposed to check now, right? So that's your focal date. Since 3,700 is already there, right? We use it as is. And what happened? Two payments, each plus interest. The only difference in between them that first one was longer making interest than the second one. But both, they have to be moved to the right. So I can put 3,700 equals first x, 1 plus 009. How many days for the first x?
105.
We're moving from 105. Yes, we're moving from left to right over 365. Future value formula plus second loan 009. Here we have 63 over 365. So let's calculate everything what is possible. Actually, I memorized those coefficients into calculator, so I don't have to key them back again. 8, 9, and for any reason, I won't alter it. I won't change it. 1 point times x. Okay, it's 3,700. Now I add those two terms together. 204,142,465 times x. From here, x is $1,812. Oops, too many points. $12.46. Don't ask me why amount of loan is so weird. I don't know, but that's what it is. So that Jeremy, he borrowed 2 times amount of $1,812.46.
That's a very specific number to borrow.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's just,
Fairy tale story.
that's for practice purposes.
You're right.
That's for practice purposes. They just choose nice round number 3,700. That's why.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So, sorry, you divided 3,700 by 2.04.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You have equation B equals AX, so X is B over A, right?
Right. Just making sure.
Yeah, of course. Okay, guys, I think we deserve break. Let me leave this question for you here, and you might want to do it, might not, but after break we come back and do it together. So break 10 minutes, be back. Let me put time back
At 5.
at 5. Yeah,
Okay.
okay, break. Okay, guys, break is over. So let's make a diagram. 60 days ago, I have $2,000. Then I have now, right? And then from now, 30 days, I have 1800. Seems to me agreement one is done, right? So 2 payments. What about agreement two? 3 equal payments. 1, 60 days, 2, 120 days, 3. Focal date is today. Does everyone understand the question, guys?
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. So, 2 agreements. Let's work one by one separately. So, agreement 1, 2 payments, 2,000 and 1,800. So, what happened to 2,000? I have to move to the right. So, future value, right? 1 plus 0, 1 for how long? For 60 days. Second agreement, 1,800, 1 plus 0, 1. I have to move to the back for 30 days. So present value forward. Any questions, guys? Okay, let's calculate. Give me 1 second. Okay, so 60 over 365 times. So I have $2,032.88. So 32.88 is actually the amount of interest, right? $1798.52. Okay, so what is it? $3,831.40. That is amount of agreement 1 in focal date. Please confirm my number. Did you finish your calculations, people? Okay, please finish, let me know. And of course, by all means, if you have any questions, you're free to ask.
Yes, real quick. So I see the equal in the equation, it says compute the size of the equal payment at 10% PA, right? What is PA?
Per annum or per
Okay.
year.
Okay,
So
makes
we
sense.
charge 10% per year.
Okay.
How's your calculations going, people? Okay, let's do the same thing for agreement 2. So agreement 2 has 3 unknown payments. So first X is already in the focal date, so I use it as is. Plus, next 2, they have to be moved to the left, so I have to use what? Present value formula. First is 798. Oh, let me check. 30 over 365 times 0, 1 plus 1, 1 over x times 1800. Oh yeah, you're right. My gremlins. Did I tell you that? That I have gremlins in the calculator? Here they are. 85, 33. Plus 38, 18, 21. So your calculations actually have 2 purposes. Purpose number 1, you practice. Purpose number 2, you catch my gremlins. Okay? So let's do. Second X, we take it back to the focal date, so against or opposite direction to time for 60 days. So we take what? Present value formula. And third X, again, opposite direction to time, and we have to use present value formula, and it happening for 120 days. So agreement 2 is what? X plus. So I calculate those coefficients. And as well, I memorize them to my calculator, so I don't have to put them back manually again. It reduces chance of gremlins, mistakes, right? 93 times x plus. Okay, let me see, I don't know yet. 9681, 69761 times x. So let me calculate what is the result. Okay, so 295199725. I have more accuracy than you do, but I guess it should be enough. Now guys, because lack of space, I make this to equal, right? It should be x. So I make this equal, and x will be $1,293.43. Any questions? So let me know when you're done. Okay, let's move forward. The loan of 2000 made at 8.5 PA is to be repaid in 4 equal payments due at the end of next 4 quarters, respectively. Determine the size of quarterly payments if the agreed focal date is the date of the loan. Guys, I just recall one thing. I want to ask you here one question before we do another one. It says 3 equal payments. Is it possible if we have payments X, Y, Z? So 3 different payments. Is it possible for us to find those payments?
Yes, would we just have to add another A, like A3?
Well, it is not a unique solution for that equation because you have one equation and 3 unknown. To actually find a unique solution, you need 3 equations, and we have only one. That's why those unknown payments, they must be same or related. For example, here it would be x, here let's say 2x, here 1/2 x. So they either equal or somehow related. Then it is possible to calculate unique answer. Okay. Otherwise, we could pay dollar, dollar, and rest, right? Or dollar, $2, and rest. So actually, is a limited number of solutions, right?
Right.
If not unlimited, theoretically unlimited, but because we're talking money, it will limit, but it will be huge number, believe me. So let's go here. Loan of 2000 made at 8.5 PA to be repaid in 4 equal payments due at the end of next 4 quarters, respectively. Determine the size of the quarterly payments if the agreed focal date is the date of the loan. Okay, guys, what if you take, let's say, 2 minutes and at least make a diagram on your own? Go ahead, do it. Okay, guys, let's see. Let's see. So what we have 2000 now, 2000, and 4 payments, quarters, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. Is it your diagram, guys? Very good. Very good. So focal date is here. So we have a point where we move to all the amounts. Technically, we have two agreements as well. One agreement is $2,000. It's a loan. And second agreement, all payments. But because we have only one payment, one loan amount, we can create equation right away. So 2,000 amount of the loan is already in the focal date, so we use it as is, right? So it has to be equal to 4 payments. Now all 4 of them we taking back in time, opposite direction to time. So all of them will use present value formulas. So first 3/12, second one 6/12. The third one 9/12. And finally, the fourth one 12/12. Any questions to that equation? Okay, now we calculate everything is possible. So possible those coefficients, and I just remind you that I memorize each of them into my calculator. So 0.9791.
What do you mean by you memorize all of them into your calculator?
Okay, as soon as I calculate it, let me show you. 166x. So I use calculator's memory, and I do this STO, let's say 1. So when time comes to add them together, I do not key them back manually. I just recall 1 plus recall 2 plus recall 3 plus recall 4. And I have all 4 already and then equal. Understand?
Okay. That's a function in your calculator.
That's the function in my calculator. Actually, most of the calculators, they have memory. You just have to figure out how it works.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so, no problem. So x, second one, plus 0.959232,614 times x plus plus 0.94 105 x plus, and finally the last one 0.92 x. So now I add them up together. I have 3.8004272 times x. From here, x is $526.29. So please do your calculations and prove my number.
So that means that every 3 months he has to pay 526.29.
Yes,
Okay.
and we can calculate how much money was as an interest,
Okay.
right? For that, you just have to take 526.29 times 4 minus 2,000. That's the interest amount.
Okay. Makes sense. So this number, it has
So,
interest in it. Yes.
of course, it includes interest.
Right. 8.5%.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, that's the nature of the loan. They lend you money in order to make some money. The interest
Right.
amount actually is your thank you, or borrowers thank you for what? Ability to use money for your purposes. 105 bucks and 16 cents. That's the interest. Okay, so let's do, I think, one more. This one. So guys, what if you take 5 minutes and do it?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
So scheduled payment 800 due 2 months ago, 1200 due in 1 month are to be repaid by payments of 1000 today, and the balance in 3 months. What is the amount of final payment? If interest is 775 and the focal date is 1 month from now. So please take 5 minutes and do it. Okay, guys, let's see what can be done here. So we have 2 months ago, 800. We have now, we have 1 month is 1200. Payment of 1000 today and 3 months balance. And they will like us to use focal date of 1 month. So it's kind of different from what we agreed upon 2 rules, remember? But it's we take as rule number 3. So unless it's specified, so if they ask us to use specific date, we will do so. Okay, in this case, 1 month from now. So we have more than one payment in each agreement. Actually, I color code agreements, so it's easier to work with. So let me calculate them separately. Agreement 1, 800. I move to the right, so it is future value formula. Okay, and here is little tricky thing. This 775%. It's very easy to use 17 here, 1 digit. So pay attention. Now, please somebody help me. How many months should I use to calculate future 800 in the focal date? Okay, why 1 month? Can you tell me? You here,
Oh no, 3 months.
3 months.
Right. Because now
3 months,
is 2 months of
not 2. 2 months will bring you to now. But you have to be here, right? So how long is that? Balpreet. So that's why you make those diagrams. So actually you're free to put those arrows, right? And make sure that you're doing right things. So 3/12 future value. 1200 goes actually nowhere. Why? Because it's already, let me put 1200 as 1200, not like some bird. So 1200, it's already there, so I use it as is, 1200. So let me calculate A1. So 3/12 times 0.0775 plus 1 times 800.
So, sir, you don't apply the interest to the 1200 because it already has
It's
everything,
already
right?
there.
Right.
It's
Okay.
already in the point I need, so it has same level of interest.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. 2015-50. So that's amount of original agreement in focal date. Same calculations, or not same, similar calculations I will do for agreement 2. So agreement 2, $1,000 to the future, 1 plus 0.0775. For how long, people? What's the distance?
1 month?
1 month, yes. Now, what about x? I have to move it to the back. So present value formula. For how long?
2 months.
2 months. Does everyone understand that, people? It's very important to understand how to find those intervals. Very good. So let's calculate A2. Actually, what is possible to calculate? So 106. No, not enough zeros. So 0.06 46 plus 0.98 7248 0.46 times x. So both agreements are in the focal date, and therefore I can make them equal. So A1 equals A2 means 2015 50 equals 246 plus 0.987248 whole 46 times x. So from this equation, x equals 1,022.07. So please confirm my number. Okay, guys, how's your calculations doing? Did you finish it? Okay, please do. Okay, guys, I think it would be last question for today. I prepared a few more and new material, but it's Friday, late afternoon, so let's leave that for next time. And next time will be uh, Wednesday in almost 2 weeks, right? So because next week we have test. Remember that, guys? Okay, so test will be on Friday. That is February 11. On Wednesday, which is February 9, we will have a review. Let me, oops, wrong button. Let me go here. That's your homework, so I cross this. That's the homework for today's class. For test 1, you go and review exercises for chapter 5 and chapter 6. It's actually section review exercises, right? So you work with them and you write down questions if you have. And next Wednesday, next class, you will ask me those questions. If it happens that you have no questions, I will offer you something. So what we work on and prepare ourselves to the test.
Okay,
Okay.
so the homework is the example 7.5.
Yes,
And
so I
review.
highly recommend you to do a homework first, so till it's fresh in the memory,
Right.
So you do your homework and then practice review exercises. On top of that, I mentioned those exercises a while ago, I think last class for sure, right? So you had a few days already to have a look on it. Any questions,
So,
guys?
yes, on Wednesday we're going to review chapter 5 and 6.
Yes, on Wednesday we will review chapter 5 and 6, and Friday will be test. Test will be during regular class hours, 2 hours long. So from 4 to 6 you will have time to do your test. It will be available on MyMathLab, and it will be available as soon as class starts. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Any more questions, guys? So if no questions, I thank you for today's class. Have a nice end of the day. Have a nice weekend, and see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Thank you,